MotoGP World Championship, front row, the homeboy, Cal Crutchlow. Alongside him, last year's winner, Valentino Rossi, completing the front row. The Suzuki of Maverick Vinales. Round 12 of the MotoGP World Championship is underway here at Silverstone.
Crutchlow and Rossi got away well off the front row. Andretti only looked like he bogged it off the line. Vinales up the inside, but it's Rossi that will lead going through Cox Corner. Valentino Rossi, race winner here at Silverstone 1 year ago. He leads the way from Cal Crutchlow. Vinales tries to fight back, and it's the Suzuki man that leads through Maggots. Vinales leads the British Grand Prix. Oh, big crash at the back of the field there. Massive crash. Was that Alex Lowe's or Paul Espargaro? It's one of the Vinci Ducatis. We might have this race red flagged very early on.
We keep an eye on the red flag situation. Maverick Vinales rides down towards the Stoke corner. We ride with Valentino Rossi. Cal Crutchlow right behind him. We will keep you right up to date. Perhaps this race may have to be stopped as they come into Stoke corner, and it's the Suzuki of Maverick Vinales, the 21-year-old Spaniard, former Moto3 winner here, who's racing away at the start.
Look at Eugene Laverty on those soft option rear tyres and the soft option front. Laverty's up to second place. He's up on the inside of Valentino Rossi going through the Vale, turn number 8. Rossi, can he fight back? No, he can't. Laverty second.
Eugene Laverty coming up to the
red flag, Nick.
Red flag is out. Yeah. Race has been stopped. We thought it would be a nasty-looking crash coming into the Maggots corner.
It was definitely one of the Tech 3 Yamahas, and Alex Lowe's was in 16th place. So as we thought, it was definitely Paul Espargaro, and it was one of the Vinci Ducatis, I'm sure. Hector Barber's out there. It's Loris Baz. I think it was an incident with Loris Baz. It was running down that fast first section through Maggots and Beckett's. We thought we might have to see the red flag. There was a lot of damage and debris strewn across the circuit. We hope that Paul Espargaro and Loris Baz are perfectly okay. Turn number 1, it's a little bit further on through the course. There it is, it was Loris Baz. There's his badly damaged Vinci Ducati.
There we go, red flag, an incident at turn 1. I think it was just a bit beyond turn 1. Was it at Cops or a little bit further down?
Yeah, I think it was actually, there's Paul Espargaro. Yeah, we thought it was definitely one of the Tech 3 Yamaha rides. I think it was going into Maggots, Nick, through turns 2 and 3.
Yeah. Anyway, we've seen Paul Espargaro going away on the stretcher, but the fact that he's going away on the stretcher obviously not good, but perhaps not such good news with one of the riders lying on the track at the moment. We will keep you right up to date. If you've just tuned in, British Grand Prix has been stopped on the first lap following an incident at the second corner, the Maggots curve, involving Loris Baz, we're pretty certain Alex Lowe's and Paul Espargaro.
Here is Paul Espargaro and Loris Baz. They were the two riders involved. It wasn't turn number 2, that really, really fast run down to the Maggots corner.
We've just been told at the moment it's Baz and Espargaro.
Yeah, Lowe's was through. He was in 16th place. So this is the incident, or this was the start. Tell you what, Crutchlow and Rossi got away well, but Vinales got brilliant driving. He's got track position on the inside there. Rossi got the lead. What about further back in the field? Let's have a look for Baz and Paul Espargaro. There they are. They're just going to collide into each other, aren't they, on that run down into Maggots? Let's have a look. What happened there was it looked like Loris Baz. I think it was one of the Pramac Ducatis. It might have been Danilo Petrucci.
I think it was Petrucci, probably. Oh, look.
Tell you what,
they are so lucky.
Both of them are really lucky there.
They both came back on the track. Let's have another look.
I think it looked like Loris Baz was just about, look at that, that's a fast crash. You've got to say, the riders further down the field, the likes of Stefan Bradl, Tito Alvaro Bautista, they all did brilliant jobs to take evasive action. We've seen Paul Espargaro going away on the stretcher. Treatment ongoing for the French rider Loris Baz. I'm not sure actually if it might have been Danilo Petrucci. They were just coming up behind him. I think Loris Baz was just perhaps in a fraction too hot and just had to lift up.
Mania, saat ini race sedang red flag karena ada insiden yang ada di turn 2 antara Loris Baz dan juga Paul Espargaro, dan saat ini Loris Baz sepertinya juga masih mendapatkan penanganan dari tim medis yang ada di sirkuit Silverstone. Sepertinya memang ini cukup serius tabrakan, dan ini harus dihentikan karena memang seperti Anda bisa lihat di layar bahwa ini ada banyak sekali serpihan-serpihan dari motor, dan ini memang harus segera dibersihkan gitu ya, Matteo. Nah, tadi Matteo waktu ngelihat ini kan sebetulnya baru saja dimulai dan ini terjadi di turn 2.
Itu kayaknya tadi saya nggak, tadi saya nggak jelas banget. Saya lihat itu bahwa waktu di break, Paul Espargaro dari luar break yang late sekali, dan Loris Bas mendorong di sebelah kanan Paul Espargaro karena mungkin dia nggak lihat atau gimana. Tadi cuma lihat sekali, jadinya kalau saya kasih komentar daripada salah mendingan dilihat lagi.
Karena kita tadi juga baru ada dua replaynya, jadi kita juga belum bisa memastikan sebetulnya.
Belum 100%. Dan itu sangat jelek.
Betul.
Yang terjadi karena saya lihat mereka tuh terjatuh bersama dengan motornya. Untung sekali tadi motornya Bas yang terbang itu nggak
menimpa salah satu rider.
Iya, salah satu rider. Kalau nggak itu sangat parah. Dan juga bagus sekali rider yang di belakang seperti Barbera dan yang lain-lain bisa lihat bahwa kecelakaan yang luar biasa terjadi dan mereka ambil keluar dari racetracknya. Jadinya kan nggak ada major pembalap yang involved di tabrakan yang tadi. Meskipun itu accident sangat jelek, dan saya berharap bahwa pembalap dua-duanya oke.
Ya, mudah-mudahan Loris Bas sebetulnya yang sepertinya masih perlu mendapatkan penanganan yang lebih serius dibanding Paul Espargaro, meskipun tadi juga sama-sama ditandu juga gitu ya. Tapi kita harapkan kedua rider yang terlibat insiden ini baik-baik saja dan race bisa dilanjutkan kembali. Ini kita lihat startnya
sangat bagus. Startnya dari Rossi dan Carclaslo dan Maverick Vinales luar biasa.
Sekali ya.
Kelihatan sekali bahwa kayak Laverty tadi sangat agresif karena dia pilih softer compound. Kayak Rossi dan yang lain mungkin ada harder compound. Dan seperti tadi saya bilang, hari ini penting sekali pilihan ban. Jadi jangan kaget kalau misalnya pembalap utama awal-awalnya ada di belakang, karena adalah taktik dan strategi seperti kemarin kita lihat di Ceko, meskipun kondisi di sini kering.
Karena sebetulnya kalau Anda mengikuti British GP ini sejak awal free practice pertama sampai dengan kualifikasi, memang sebetulnya semuanya serba tidak terduga gitu ya. Jadi para rider ini juga PR banget untuk menentuin ban pilihannya hari ini ya.
Makanya mereka tadi berharap sekali bahwa warm up-nya bisa kering supaya bisa coba semua pilihan ban.
Nah ini kita saksikan lagi, ini adalah ini memang
punya masalah di start.
Startnya juga sedikit
jelek ya, karena kan bisa di belakang Lorenzo malah.
Betul.
Kita bisa lihat lagi dari Lorenzo. Marquez itu ternyata kena sama.
Ini kita lihat lagi.
Kayaknya itu tadi. Coba kita lihat. Coba kita lihat.
Dengan Scott Redding ya kalau nggak salah ya.
Scott Redding.
Betul.
Tapi Scott Redding udah di depan tadi ya, jadinya kan nggak ada salahnya. Dan
kita lihat
Carclaslo dan Vinales sangat agresif, startnya bagus sekali.
Dan tadi saat sebelum red flag akhirnya dikibarkan, sebetulnya Vinales sedang leading ya.
Ya lumayan jauh, tapi kan awal-awalnya mereka kasih tahu dia tadi udah pilih compound yang soft juga.
Nah ini ada informasi dari Medical Center, rider nomor 76 Loris Bas saat ini keadaannya sadar, sekarang ini sedang diperiksa lebih lanjut oleh tim medis yang ada di Silverstone.
Sebetulnya kan baru balik juga dari injury nggak lama lalu.
Iya, betul.
Dan injury lagi sekarang ini. Padahal dia lumayan terakhir ini performance dia tuh luar biasa. Kayak kemarin di Ceko dia selesai di nomor 4 dan kemarin juga waktu QTT lumayan bagus.
Tapi paling nggak ini berita yang sedikit melegakan gitu
yang penting itu pembalapnya
pembalapnya sadar dan sekarang ini sedang diperiksa lebih lanjut lagi dengan tim medis yang ada di Silverstone.
Pembalapnya oke, mereka bisa start kembali dan sangat oke.
Sepertinya memang yang paling mengkhawatirkan kondisinya Loris Bas tadinya
Loris
gitu.
Bas, tapi kayaknya pasti ada yang rada, kalau dia sampai ke bawah begitu dan sakit sekali mungkin ada yang terjadi, tapi yang terjadinya itu bukan fatal karena kelihatan dia masih bisa waving berarti dia oke.
Nah ini kita lihat Loris Bas masih bisa melambaikan tangannya, jadi paling tidak dia juga ingin memberikan semacam isyarat buat penonton yang hadir di Silverstone dan juga yang menyaksikan lewat TV bahwa dia dalam keadaan yang baik-baik saja. Ini Jack Miller yang kemarin juga sempat jatuh juga ya.
Tapi dia juga bagus waktu dia masuk ke Q1, dia bisa melewati Q1 dengan timingnya yang bagus, dia sama Laverty.
Akhirnya masuk
dan
gitu
akhirnya
ya.
masuk Q2 dan oke lah, performa dia juga baru balik dari injury juga dan ya.
Nah, satu nama yang kita belum sempat bahas tadi adalah Eugene Laverty. Sebetulnya dia pas lagi kualifikasi kemarin, Matteo, dia menunjukkan performa yang sangat luar biasa dan hampir saja pole position
mau
kan?
cerita sama pembalap ini. Saya suka banget sama Superbike. Ya. Saya sering nonton Superbike. Semua race saya bisa dibilang saya bisa nonton. Dan waktu dia di Superbike saya suka banget dengan pembalap ini. Eugene Laverty. Dia sangat agresif, sangat sering menang dan hampir jadi juara dunia juga Superbike. Ya. Dan saya tidak mengerti kenapa dia datang di MotoGP dengan tim, kalau kita tahu semuanya tim yang dia kurang top tim lah, dan motornya yang juga dia pakai adalah Ducati yang paling parah, yang paling tua. Tetapi saya bisa bilang tahun-tahun kemarin dia cukup ada adaptasi dan tahun ini dia performa yang luar biasa. Saya suka sekali lihat dia sangat agresif, selalu dia masuk dan fight luar biasa. Saya yakin pembalap ini, karena saya tahu sangat agresif, kalau dikasih tim yang lebih bagus atau motor yang bagus, dia bisa fight di depan, karena dia menurut saya adalah top rider. Saya nggak tahu kenapa saya suka sekali pembalap ini, karena dari waktu Superbike saya tahu dia sangat agresif dan bagus dan rapi. Dia harus balik ke Superbike dan dia bilang bahwa saya udah pikirnya lama sekali dan ambil keputusan untuk balik ke Superbike dengan alasan dia bilang karena yang di MotoGP saya nggak bisa dapat top team dan saya nggak bisa perform. Mendingan saya balik di Superbike dengan top team dan bisa jadi juara dunia daripada main di belakang-belakang. Itulah mental pembalap yang nggak terima cuman oke lah kamu pembalap MotoGP cukup jadi pembalap MotoGP. Tidak, untuk dia tidak cukup karena dia tahu potensial dia sangat besar dan dia mau jadi juara dunia. Jadinya dia bilang daripada mendingan saya balik ke Superbike di mana ada kesempatan untuk jadi juara dunia. Karena dia di Supersport, World Supersport pernah jadi juara dunia juga. Jadinya ya sangat sesuatu menurut saya. Dan
kelihatan agresifnya sih sebetulnya kemarin ya.
Dan very agresif dia lagi dapat time-nya yang luar biasa di lap terakhir.
Bener.
Lap terakhir itu airnya kan udah parah banget. Jadinya kan saya no wonder kalau dia memang jatuh dan kemarin. Tapi
karena tinggal beberapa corner aja dia poleman loh hari ini.
Tapi saya lihat itu kemarin cukup bagus. Dia bisa start dari posisi nomor 4 dan sesuatu banget. Makanya saya bilang kalau jangan pikir bahwa kalau pembalap di kondisi basah bisa ke depan atau bisa fight di depan, itu berarti dia punya talenta. Kenapa? Di kondisi basah itu feeling pembalap itu penting sekali.
Insting yang
penting dan lebih penting daripada motor sendiri, lebih penting daripada apapun. Jadinya kalau pembalap di kondisi basah bisa fight up there, artinya apa? Dia punya kualitas.
Betul.
Tapi kita tahu semua bahwa di MotoGP ini banyak politik. Dalam artinya sponsor itu penting sekali. Ada pembalap yang sangat close dengan sponsor, membawa duit. Dan untuk tim masing-masing itu yang penting itu adalah pembalap yang bagus, karena tidak ada di MotoGP pembalap yang jelek. Dari nomor 1 sampai nomor 22 itu top rider. Artinya apa? Mereka adalah pembalap paling bagus di dunia.
Betul.
Jadinya tapi untuk tim-tim yang penting apa? Ada duit untuk balap. Karena kan di MotoGP mahal sekali. Meskipun Dorna bantu banget, tapi tetap aja.
Betul.
Ya.
Race akan dimulai kurang lebih sekitar 5 menit lagi.
Nah kita lihat lagi.
Dan ini jadinya 19 lap.
Seperti biasa, waktu startnya Valentino sangat konservatif, karena banyak belum panas dan bukan cuma Valentino, Marquez dan Lorenzo sangat konservatif. Dan yang lainnya karena cari kesempatan harus all out.
Betul.
Tapi kalau lap-lap awalnya harus hati-hati sekali karena banyak belum panas, aspalnya masih dingin dan harus mengerti setup motornya, reaksinya motor sama ban ban yang dipilih cocok dan bagus karena mereka nggak sempat coba sebelumnya.
Tapi ini startnya memang cukup ketat banget gitu
agresif,
dia, maksudnya sampai Marc Marquez saja juga sampai hampir.
Saya rasa pembalap-pembalap yang fighting for the World Championship itu
ngotot
apa namanya, enggak, awalnya kan hati-hati awal-awal dulu. Dan yang lainnya seperti Carlos, siapa namanya, Maverick Vinales atau Laverty akan usaha keras sekali untuk all out. Karena mereka
nggak ada beban.
Tapi yang lainnya kan ada beban. Nah, kalau Marquez, Lorenzo dan Rossi akan mempelajari satu sama yang lain daripada mereka harus mikir pembalap yang sebetulnya nggak ada cerita untuk jadi juara dunia. Ngapain saya harus pusing dengan Vinales atau pusing dengan apa namanya Kraslo atau yang lain kalau misalnya rival saya bukan mereka.
Dan
kita
itu
lihat sangat pinter.
On board dari motornya Maverick Vinales. Nah ini memang kelihatan sekali ya Maverick Vinales, kalau Anda bisa lihat dia begitu agresif, dia begitu pace-nya memang dapat banget lah dia hari ini.
Saya lihat dia sangat scary hari ini, dan jangan lupa Maverick Vinales itu sangat punya talenta. Kalau enggak, Yamaha nggak mungkin pilih dia untuk mengganti
Jorge Lorenzo loh, bukan George Lorenzo ya.
Makanya saya bilang dia itu kalau semuanya sempurna dan dia sangat confident, sangat bahaya. Dan jangan salah, saya tahu bahwa Marquez adalah pembalap yang luar biasa, tetapi ada lagi pembalap yang luar biasa yang akan datang dan ada di MotoGP. Vinales sama Alex Rins nanti in the future, dan Iannone juga. Karena saya rasa bahwa Iannone di Suzuki akan bisa jadi sangat. Nah ini kita lihat bahwa
Marquez dan Redding
dan Redding.
Nah ini memang
Redding di depan dan Marquez di belakang, jadinya nggak ada yang salah sih. Tapi ya itu yang harus hati-hati di start ini. Apalagi pembalap utama harus hati-hati karena kan mereka yang lainnya kan sangat agresif.
Betul.
Dan seperti tadi saya bilang, nothing tulus. Jadi ya kalau terjadi sesuatu yang sangat bahaya dan mereka ada di tengah, ya makanya mereka rada konservatif tadi startnya. Dan Marquez, Lorenzo dan Rossi nggak usah start kayak begitu, karena memang lama-lama mereka akan nyusul dan naik. Kan race ini panjang sekali. Kalau awal-awalnya udah ambil ke risiko yang terlalu tinggi dan jatuh, ya itu bahaya.
Betul. Sebentar lagi race akan segera dimulai, akan ada sighting lap lagi ya, Matteo. Kita akan langsung saja bergabung dengan
pembalap lagi akan balik ke Superbike. Bukan balik, akan ke Superbike.
Siapa tuh? Brado akan ke Superbike ya. Oke, terima kasih banyak Matteo. Dan sekarang jadi mana kita akan langsung saja bergabung kembali dengan sirkuit Silverstone untuk menyaksikan race MotoGP seri ke-12.
So they've got 60 seconds, these riders, to make it out of the pit lane, Dylan.
Matt, you asked earlier about if does anyone have completely fresh rubber on. The only ones I could see is it looked like Marquez had a new front on there, and Valentino Rossi definitely has both other tyres new. Other bikes going out, they did not have that same sheen on the tyre, so it looks like not everyone has changed to brand new rubber. But you know what? I think that should ultimately not really make the difference in the end.
Here's Valentino Rossi. Anybody who saw him win the race here last year was a master class of wet weather riding, from the master of MotoGP, 9 times world champion, of course.
So the pit lane's now closed.
They didn't have long to get out, did they? That is the new procedure to speed things along.
And it might be obvious for you guys, but just to confirm, so Pol Espargaro didn't get back to the box, so he won't be riding.
Okay, so it'll be a 19-rider field with Loris Baz and Pol Espargaro out of this rerun.
19 riders for 19 laps then in this British Grand Prix. The race distance reduced by 1 lap after that red flag. Here we are then for the quick restart procedure. As we told you, only one mechanic permitted on the grid to greet their riders, and then we will be underway very, very shortly.
And the grid obviously will remain the same. Crutchlow, Rossi, Vinales front row, Pedrosa, Marquez, Lafferty second row, Redding, Iannone, Lorenzo third row, Dovizioso, Espargaro, that's a late Espargaro, and Jack Miller the fourth row. Loris Baz, well, he won't be there. Danilo Petrucci and Pol Espargaro won't be there. That would have been the 6th row of the grid. Alex Lowe, Stefan Bradl and Hector Barber. Now Alvaro Bautista, Yoni Hernandez, who led the way in the wet warm-up, and Tito Rabat, former Moto2 winner here. Grid forming up very quickly indeed. 19 laps now then. Round 12 of the MotoGP World Championship. Cal Crutchlow in pole position. Eugene Laverty absolutely flying in that first half lap of the race before it was red flagged up into second place. As we've seen in these situations so often, usually it's a complete turnaround second time round.
Well, Yuji Laverty did exactly what he needed to do, because on that soft front tyre and soft rear tyre, he's going to have, you think, an advantage at the start of the race compared to some of those around him. So he had to go a bit gung-ho at the start. He did it brilliantly to get away. Well, he'd just taken second place for Valentino Rossi with a brave move down at the Vale chicane before the red flag came out. So Yuji Laverty again will be looking to make the repeat of that start as the grid quickly clears then for this quick restart.
My God, that grid did clear quickly. Right, restart. 19 laps, completely new race. Round 12 of the MotoGP World Championship here at Silverstone.
So warm-up lap for the second time of asking for these riders just to get some temperature into those tyres. Valentino Rossi, as Dylan pointed out, he did decide to throw in a completely new set of hard option front Michelin tyre, new Michelin rear tyre. We're going to get some great action, aren't we, from this brand new 360-degree gyroscopic camera, bringing you literally right into the heart of the battle.
Right to the face of Maverick Vinales, who's behind him, look. Great helicopter shot. This is coming down towards the Stoke corner, the far end of the circuit. Crowd here, 75,000. That's probably a record crowd on race day for the British Grand Prix. Certainly since it returned in 2010 it is. Let's just have a look at those temperatures. 19 degrees, actually a little bit, 18 both the same, track and air. And that wind is still a little bit gusty, but probably won't affect the MotoGP machines as much as it would have done Moto3 or even Moto2.
So Cal Crutchlow then, for the second time of asking, will start the British Grand Prix from pole position.
Can he claim 2 pole positions for that?
I bet you will be asking Tissot for another watch.
And he'll probably be claiming in the record book.
And he'll be asking Lucio for another pole bonus as well.
Yeah, he will. We ride with Marc Marquez. Don't rule him out in any way in this race, Marc Marquez. He's had a bit of an up and down weekend, but he's had plenty of those in his career. Former winner here in 125 and also MotoGP. Some great races here. Crashed out here last year in the rain. They crashed out yesterday. Exactly, it was a carbon copy crash with the weather and where he went down at turn 1 at Cops Corner. This is down at Brooklands. Stefan Bradl, that's his last British Grand Prix before he goes to World Superbikes. Some brilliant evasive action by him when Paul Espargaro and Loris Baz came back across the track in the crash. Through Luffield, 53 points separating Marquez and Rossi in the World Championship. This is a race that Valentino Rossi has to win. He's going to have any chance of pulling back some decent points advantage on the championship leader. Front row lines up. Red flag shown again. Valentino Rossi in the centre of the front row of the grid. We're with Cal Crutchlow in pole position, completing that front row. Maverick Vinales, who was leading the race after half a lap when the red flag went out. Second time around, green flag being shown. 19 laps this time round. Round 12 of the MotoGP World Championship, the home of British motorsport.
Rossi and Crutchlow got away well for the second time of asking. Not such a good start for Maverick Vinales this time around. It's Crutchlow that leads the British Grand Prix. Dani Pedrosa got away well from 4th place as well. He's putting pressure on Maverick Vinales. We're on board with Valentino Rossi through the Maggot section for the first time. It's Cal Crutchlow that leads his home race.
Vinales coming right up behind Valentino Rossi, but Crutchlow, to the delight of the crowd, comes onto the hangar straight, leading the way. There is Jorge Lorenzo, behind him Andrea Iannone. Crutchlow coming to pressure, 320 kilometres an hour as they come into Stoke Corner. Rossi coming up the inside. Here comes Maverick Vinales also. Crutchlow holds firm just.
Vinales gets through on Valentino Rossi. Brilliant late move on the brakes from the Spanish rider then. He now leads the charge on Crutchlow. Andrea Iannone, he's got up the inside of 3 riders. Iannone was up the inside of Scott Redding, Dani Pedrosa and Jorge Lorenzo on the run down to the Vale chicane. Brilliant by the Italian.
Remember the overtake at Phillip Island last season? That was right up there with him. Along the international pit straight. Rossi coming under pressure, and it's Maverick Vinales has taken the lead into Abbey.
Oh yeah, bit of disservice there to Maverick Vinales. Thought it was Rossi that was sweeping through. So Vinales, just as he did last time out in the initial start, leads the British Grand Prix on the opening lap. Marc Marquez bravely around the outside of Valentino Rossi. He's got the inside line for the loop. Rossi goes back to 4th place. Andrea Iannoni's a man on the charge. There he is into 5th place. Danny Pedrosa 6th. Scott Redding 7th.
Wow, that was aggressive stuff from Marc Marquez. Down to the Wellington straight. Into Brooklands they come. And Vinales on the Suzuki, just opening up a little bit of an advantage as they come up to Lovefield and Woodcut. 19 laps, there will be 18 left when they cross the line.
Still trying to understand how Andrea Iannoni got that Ducati stop going into Vale on that first lap, because it was quite a breathtaking move. Vinales then will lead over the line at the end of the first lap from Crutchlow, from Marquez. Rossi got pushed back to 4th. Iannoni, Pedrosa, Redding, Lorenzo, Dovizioso and Aleix Espargaro. That's your top 10.
Yeah, a little bit further down we have Jack Miller, Eugene Laverty, Petrucci, Bradle, Batista Hernandez, Alex Lowe's, Tito Rabat and Hector Barbara. That's your top 19.
Eugene Laverty hasn't been able to capitalise on those soft option rear tyres second time around. He was second, of course, before the red flags came out earlier on. He's down in 12th place though now as Jorge Lorenzo's picked his way through on Scott Redding. They power out of the Chapel curve down the hanger straight. It's Maverick Vinales that's opened up a lead of over 4/10 of a second. Crutchlow under pressure from Marquez. Marquez is through. Can Rossi also find a way through? Marquez second.
Yeah, Marquez into second place. Rossi almost got up the inside of Count Crutchlow through Vale down towards the club corner. Here comes Crutchlow up the inside of Valentino Rossi. He can't find a way through. Sorry, up the inside of Marquez. He can't find a way through as they come onto the international pit straight.
Marquez just too late on the brakes going into Vale for Cal Crutchlow. Marquez, of course, he's got that soft option front Michelin tyre on, so that will perhaps be up to working temperature, a little bit quicker than the hards that Rossi and Crutchlow have got on at the moment. Vinales, though, is doing a really good job at the front of this field. He's stretching them away. Marc Marquez is desperately trying to hang in there. The gap between Vinales and Marquez already up to nearly 8/10 of a second.
Valentino Rossi trying all he can to get past Cal Crutchlow and Andrea Iannoni. We've seen some great overtaking from him, closing up on these all the time. But Maverick Vinales on the Suzuki, chasing his first ever Grand Prix win, is, well, getting away at the moment as they come down towards Brooklands, but a long, long way to go. Just over 17 laps to go.
Rossi in a little bit hot down at Brooklands, turn number 16. He didn't leave the door open ajar enough for Andrea Iannoni to sweep through. Iannoni's still in 5th place ahead of Danny Pedrosa. Here comes Maverick Vinales though, through Woodcote Corner to complete lap number 2. And he's probably leading this British Grand Prix now by over a second. He's 9/10 of a second quicker than Marc Marquez. Vinales, fastest lap of the race at 2:02.339, half a second faster on lap 2 than Marc Marquez.
We ride with the number 25, former Moto3 winner here at Silverstone. Needed a good start, he's got that good start. Last Suzuki to finish on the podium at the British Grand Prix, Randy Mamola in 1983.
2007, 9 years ago since Chris Vermeulen, the Australian. Bit of marshals running in the background. I'm not sure if we've had a faller coming through Magnus and Beckett. Look at the gap that Maverick Vinales has been able to establish now at the end of the hanger straight. Yes, Stefan Bradl was the faller. We just saw some marshals running there. A crash at turn 3 for the German rider. But Maverick Vinales is checking out on the Suzuki.
This would be an historic win. There he is, Stefan Bradl, probably his last British Grand Prix, certainly for 2 years anyway. And a turn 3 coming up. Down he goes on the Aprilia. He's great cloud. Just clipped the curve.
He's clipped the back of Eugene Laverty. That's what's happened there. He's got in too hot and it's pushed Eugene Laverty wide. So Eugene Laverty, that's dropped him further back down the field. Laverty's now back in. Well, he's probably in last place actually, unfortunately. Oh, problems for Scott Redding. He's crashed at turn number 8. Scott Redding was running in 9th place.
Scott Redding. Looks like we're trying to restart the bike, but it looks like major problems for Scott Redding. Crashing out, coming into that, through Vale into that club corner. Back at the front. Well, at the front, there's only one man in it at the moment as they come down to Brooklands. There is Maverick Vinales, then Marc Marquez. Cal Crutchlow still in 3rd place. Rossi behind him. Andrea Iannoni. Danny Pedrosa also well placed. Behind Danny Pedrosa, Jorge Lorenzo beginning to close up on the duo with Andrea Dovizioso behind him. The gap now 1.3 seconds for Maverick Vinales.
on board with Rossi through this magnificent Woodcote corner. Maverick Vinales is already over the line to start lap number 4. He's 1.3 seconds clear of Marc Marquez. Crutchlow, Rossi, Iannone and Pedrosa, they've all just put in personal best laps of the race.
Right with Marc Marquez, he hasn't been able to break away from the group, and if anything, Cal Crutchlow has brought the group closer to Marc Marquez as they go down through the Maggots, Beckett's Chapel complex and onto the Hangar Straight.
Crutchlow and Rossi have got to get through on Marc Marquez there, because Maverick Vinales, Crutchlow and Rossi have got the same tyre combination as the Suzuki Man, but the longer they spend behind Marquez, the more of a gap Vinales can open up, and the more space and the more comfort zone he's got in the latter stages of the race. Crutchlow and Rossi, again, they just can't find a way through Marquez with that soft option front tyre.
We ride with Marc Marquez. Here comes Cal Crutchlow through Vale up the inside at Club. Has he gone through this time round? No. You're so right. They just cannot prize an opening, can they? As they come through Club onto the international back straight, or the international pit straight. This is where the Formula 1 cars start their race stop, and up towards Abbey. And already Maverick Vinales is in Abbey, but a terrific battle now going on for second place, with Danny Pedrosa closing up all the time.
Well, in the first 2 sectors on this 4th lap, Maverick Vinales has been able to stretch out another half a second. The likes of Crutchlow, Rossi and Iannone are being held up here by Marc Marquez. They've got to find a way through before it's too late. There's still 16 laps to go, but Maverick Vinales is already in a race of his own. Crutchlow and Rossi have got to get through on Marc Marquez. The problem is Marquez is such a demon on the brakes, they just can't find a way through to make a pass safely.
This is where they might try. We ride with Valentino Rossi. That's Crutchlow in front of them. They're not close enough as they go into Brooklands.
No way through this time around. In fact, Marc Marquez, if anything, just opened up 4 or 5 bike lengths, so they came out on the gas coming out of the Aintree corner onto the Wellington Straight. We're on board with the race leader, the Spanish rider, the 21-year-old Maverick Vinales. He comes over the line now to complete lap number 4, and his advantage is 1.8 seconds. He was half a second quicker that time around than the chasing pack.
Yeah, first Grand Prix victory, I won't say in the reckoning for him. It was a long way to go in the Premier class. He's a former Moto3 winner here. He was the Moto3 world champion. Just 1 podium finish for him this season at Suzuki. That was at Le Mans. And of course he joins Valentino Rossi at Yamaha next season. They're trying all they can, Crutchlow and Rossi, to get through on Marquez, but he is just not giving them 1 single inch, as you would expect. This is where they're going to try again. Crutchlow trying to get a little bit of a slipstream, as is Rossi. They come into Stoke corner. They try everything to get through, but they haven't got the pace to get past him.
Iannone and Pedrosa hanging in there in this battle for second place. Just off them is Lorenzo in 7th, Dovizioso in 8th place, and Aleix Espargaro in 9th. They're having a good 3-way fight for that 7th spot. Jack Miller's having a good ride in 10th.
What about Alex Lowe? Still going extremely well, because it's Petrucci in 11th. 12th is Hernandez, Bautista 13th, and Alex Lowe's in the points in 14th.
Poor old Eugene Laverty caught up in that incident with Stefan Bradl at Maggots. He's down in 17th place at the moment. He's only got Scott running behind him, who's crashed out of the race. He's Crutchlow close up this time. Rossi though finds a way through. Great move by Rossi. Crutchlow leans on him. Can Rossi get away through? No, he can't. Oh, he almost had his front wheel taken there by Crutchlow. Crutchlow had the inside line going through the loop. That was close. Rossi can sense that Vinales is checking out to a distance here that he won't be able to claw back.
Yeah, he wants to get past Cal Crutchlow. Crutchlow wants to try and get past Marquez. Pretty aggressive stuff from both riders. Here comes Rossi once again at Brooklands. Can he make it stick? He does. Valentino Rossi up into 3rd place. This time there's nothing Cal Crutchlow can do.
Yeah, because Marquez was actually starting to pull away from Crutchlow in 2nd, so Rossi decided that the time was right. He had to go. He tried it at Village, didn't quite make it stick. He got it right at Brooklands. So here we go then, start of lap number 6. It's Vinales the leader by 2.2 seconds now over Marc Marquez. Rossi's half a second behind Marquez, 2.6 seconds back of Maverick Vinales. 14 laps, still plenty of time for Rossi to eke his way back into contention. Time, of course, for Marc Marquez.
They are hanging on by their fingernails, aren't they, Andrea Iannone and Danny Pedrosa at the back of this group. And Maverick Vinales, amazing ride by the 21-year-old at the front. He's looked good all weekend.
I wonder if that means that it's a lap 30. It's an SW, which I wonder if it means Swift. You've got to maybe change the mapping. just to maybe dull the power a bit. Rossi's up the second place. Rossi is charging. Rossi's through on Marc Marquez down at the Stowe corner. Valentino Rossi's got heat in that hard option front tyre. Then Rossi up the second on lap number 6. What is the gap then between Rossi and Vinales? We'll check them very shortly as they come through the second sector. Pedrosa's made a move on Iannone as well. Pedrosa up to 5th.
This is going to be a very interesting 2 or 3 laps. Has Valentino Rossi got any chance of repeating his victory of last season? Keep looking at those lap times, because he has got in front, and Marc Marquez closes right up on Valentino Rossi. Rossi will be able to hear that Honda in his ears right behind him. He knows he can't make any sort of mistake, and he knows if Marquez gets through on him, it will impede him, and it will just allow Vinales to get further away at the front.
Yeah, Marquez ran wide going into Abbey Corner. He just got a little bit too close to Valentino Rossi. Just had to shut off, run wide. The gap between Vinales and Rossi through the third section is 2.4 seconds, with 13 laps and 3 corners of this British Grand Prix remaining.
And the battle for second place still continues to rage. Valentino Rossi with Marc Marquez right behind him. They're coming into Woodcote. When they cross the line, there will be 13 laps to go. They cross the line now. Well, Maverick Vinales crosses the line now. Here come the others chasing after him. Familiar number 25, that blue Suzuki, into Copse Corner. The gap, 2.5 seconds. But Rossi is starting to open a little bit of an advantage now over Marc Marquez. His next few laps are going to tell us an awful lot about what Valentino Rossi's got left in the locker, with that harder compound tyre now beginning to pay a few dividends.
Yeah, Maverick Vinales, even though Valentino Rossi put in his personal best lap of the race with a 2:02.745, looked like Aleix Espargaro had just run off, although maybe it was Scott Redding actually just, he's crashed again. Scott Redding's having a home Grand Prix to forget. Turn number 13 and looking for the British rider.
Yeah, that's the entry corner for Scott Redding.
This was his first crash. That was at turn number 8, and this is his second one. Turn number 13, almost identical, just rolling off the side of the front tyre. So Scott Redding's Superman leathers haven't been able to catapult him to a decent result on home soil. Pramit Ducati look on. Yeah, Rossi is slowly edging away from Marc Marquez. He's making no impression on Maverick Vinales, though. Vinales keeping the gap at 2.5 seconds through the second split on lap number 7.
We ride with a 21-year-old Spaniard, former Moto3 world champion, 1 season in Moto2, then joining Suzuki. Probably regarded as the hottest property in Grand Prix racing at the moment, chasing his first ever MotoGP victory. He leaves Suzuki at the end of the season. Davide Brivio, who we spoke to on the grid, team manager of Suzuki, looks nervous.
He was trying to downplay their chances when he spoke to Dylan, wasn't he? But you could tell that they were really, really confident. Maverick Vinales, certainly on Friday, was very, very fast on slick tyres, and these are these cool conditions where the Suzuki does thrive. It's in the hotter ambient temperatures, the hotter track conditions where the Suzuki really struggles for rear grip. And Maverick Vinales said all of his time on Friday was spent working on electronics to try and conserve his tyres in the second half of the race.
2.8 seconds now he leads away, and I tell you, Marquez is closing up on Rossi all the time. Rossi's not been able to get away. We're looking at a fantastic replay. 200 kilometres an hour as he comes into Woodcote Corner.
Yeah, Marquez last time around put in a personal best lap of the race. He was a fraction faster than Valentino Rossi. You'd think Vinales and Rossi with that hard option front, medium option rear would have the better tyre life in the second half of the race over Marc Marquez. So it'll be interesting to see how Marquez can hang in there in this battle for the podium. He's doing a good job of holding off Crutchlow, Pedrosa and Iannone at the moment.
Yeah, Iannone, after looking so fierce, taking 2 riders going into Club Corner, really has not made a lot of progress since then, has he? And in fact, Danny Pedrosa has got past him.
But I think we do need to think that Pedrosa and Iannone, as well as Dovizioso behind, are on that softer option rear tyre, the front 4 on the medium. And considering what Iannone did in Austria last time out, just conserving the tyre right until the end, you don't know whether those guys are actually just quite comfortable sitting there right now.
Yeah, behind Andrea Iannone, we get a glimpse there of Jorge Lorenzo running in 8th place, and Aleix Espargaro on the second of the Suzukis in 9th. Then it's Petrucci 10, Miller 11, and Andes 12, Bautista 13, 14 is Hector Barbera, at 15th place is Alex Lowe's.
like it will be a sixth successive race without a victory for Jorge Lorenzo. His championship challenge is fading very fast, with Marc Marquez again in the podium places.
Marquez will want to beat Valentino Rossi, but he won't be too disappointed if he just finishes one place behind him as far as the championship goes.
We're into the fourth sector now, where the Honda's been working well all weekend. This is where Marquez should be able to close down a little bit on Valentino Rossi. Maverick Vinales, you can see in the top left-hand picture of your screen, is coming over the line to start lap number 9. And the gap between Vinales and Rossi's eked out again is 2.7 seconds. Marquez and Crutchlow setting their personal best laps last time around, but Valentino Rossi holding firm in second place. But Maverick Vinales is running away with this British Grand Prix.
Here he is through this magnificent Maggotts, Beckett's and Chapel Curve complex. Switch now back to Marquez. Well, just coming under a little bit of pressure from Cal Crutchlow. We ride now with Cal Crutchlow, pole position for the British rider. This is this section, it is superb. Right, left, right, left, right.
Looked like he briefly got ahead of Marquez there, but Marquez just held firm.
Through the Vale section, halfway through this lap, so that will be 10.5 laps to go. It's a 19-lap race. First race will stop halfway through the first lap, following the accident of Paul Espargaro and Loris Baz. They come onto the international pit straight, and he's got about a good half of that straight to his advantage, hasn't he, Maverick Vinales, as he tips it into the Abbey curve.
Well, this is why Suzuki signed him after just 1 year in the Moto2 World Championship. This is why Yamaha have signed Maverick Vinales to replace Jorge Lorenzo next year, on board with Dani Pedrosa, who's locked in this brilliant fight for second place. You can see Rossi, Marquez and Cal Crutchlow just ahead of him. You can't see the race leader Maverick Vinales because he's just a dot in the distance going down the Wellington Straight, the Spanish rider.
Back to the battle for second place. Rossi and Marquez into Brooklands.
Looks like a dog with a bone, Marquez.
Rossi
can't break it, can he?
He's quite happy where he is because it's great for the championship, but he wants to beat him, doesn't he? He wants to beat him desperately, and I'm afraid whatever the team have told him, whatever the instructions he's received, he's in his zone now, isn't he? He wants to beat Valentino Rossi. This is going to go all the way to the end, I promise you.
3 seconds, the gap now between Vinales and Rossi. So Vinales 3 seconds up for the first time in this race. It's a great battle. A 5-rider fight for second place at the moment. Big speed wobble for Marquez. He lost acceleration and drive coming out of Cops Corner. Cal Crutchlow says thank you very much. The British rider sweeps through into third.
Brilliant stuff from Crutchlow. Mistake, well, don't mind a mistake from Marquez. I don't think there was an awful lot he could do about it. They come down the hanger straight now towards the Stowe corner. Vinales has disappeared, and Cal Crutchlow is on the podium as we stand. But with 9.5 laps to go, that can change dramatically. Here comes Andrea Iannone up the inside of Dani Pedrosa. Pushes him wide. Iannone surely he's got the inside line. He has now. Perhaps he has been conserving his tyres, as he did in Austria 3 weeks ago.
Well, he's got work to do because he's given Maverick Vinales a 4-second start, and normally in MotoGP you can't do that at this level. Vinales has long gone into the distance, so you're only up into 5th. This was where Marquez had problems. Yeah, look at that, he just lost, he hit a bump there and just lost the rear as he came over a bump, but we know the Honda's had some acceleration problems. Yeah, he's squeezing the power on there, and he just rear tyre spinning up, lost all momentum down into Maggotts, and Cal Crutchlow was able to sweep quite easily through. Crutchlow now swarming all over the rear tyre of Valentino Rossi.
Well, Maverick Vinales is disappearing into the distance, but there's a tremendous battle still continuing for second place. A 3-second advantage now. Onto the Wellington Straight they come. Closing up on Valentino Rossi. Will he try to get up the inside on the brakes? No, he is not close enough. That last Suzuki win, I think we've probably got to start saying that now. That last Suzuki win, 2007, Chris Vinales.
Yeah,
in the Mans?
Yeah. I'm sure Chris, in his role of pundit for Australian TV, will be cheering on Maverick Vinales, watching his ex-factory potentially end their long run without success. It's Crutchlow up the inside of Rossi there, down into Cops Corner.
Very hard indeed, not quite into Cops Corner. Marquez fighting back, Iannone on the rear wheel of Marquez. I tell you, this battle for second place is going to explode, and Iannone through on Marquez. Iannone, I think, is the man to watch at the moment on the Ducati.
I think Marquez is having real problems with rear grip coming out of the Cox corner, because that's the second lap in a row now that he's lost position. Crutchlow last time around, this time around it was Andrea Iannone.
We ride with Marc Marquez, that's his teammate, Tony Pedrosa behind him. So the gap would be reduced to 44 points. So he's taken 9 points off him if this remains the same, with Valentino Rossi staying in second place. And of course Maverick Vinales also winning the race, and Vinales will be closing right up the battle for third place with Jorge Lorenzo.
Yeah, Andrea Iannone looks really, really threatening there in fourth place. He's closing up on Cal Crutchlow as they sweep through the club corner. Look at the corner speed that Iannone can carry with those softer option tyres.
Grip there, wasn't he? Tremendous grip out of the club corner, up the inside of Crutchlow. There is absolutely nothing Cal Crutchlow can do. And it reminds me of Cal Crutchlow and Bruno, the way he was finding that grip.
So Iannone then up into the podium place. His next in his sights will be Valentino Rossi. Maverick Vinales is about to go 4 seconds clear of this chasing pack. This is a great battle raging for second place. We're on board with Andrea Iannone, looking back at Bruno winner Cal Crutchlow. The way that Iannone signed his way through on Marquez and Cal Crutchlow on this lap, well, Valentino Rossi will be having a very big problem very, very shortly.
He's arriving at speed, that red Ducati down at Brooklands. Dylan.
Yeah, if you look, it's only Vinales and Iannone that are in the 202s. I think now we've seen this big drop-off that they said, because they've all of a sudden now almost everyone dropped into the 203s. It's only Vinales and Iannone who've avoided that so far.
What happened on Friday? The superior race pace was from Maverick Vinales and Andrea Iannone. It was clear to see on the timesheets on Friday afternoon. So Iannone up the inside of Valentino Rossi. He's making this look easy. Andrea Iannone, in a lap and a half, he's passed Marquez, Crutchlow and Rossi.
He's scything through them like a knife through butter. Now, with just under 8 laps to go, can he make any impression on Maverick Vinales at the front?
Well, he needs to be lapping half a second a lap faster then, doesn't he? And the way Maverick Vinales has been in complete control, Iannone himself dropped into the 203s last time out. Here comes Rossi fighting back.
Rossi's not having it, is he? They're absolutely side by side, 320 kilometres an hour. What a great shot, and Rossi's going to outbrake him into Stowe, and he's done it.
Oh, it feels like he can reach out and touch. Andrea Iannone there, coming into the braking zone. Aleix Espargaro will have a 1 second penalty added to his lap time. Rossi is through. This is a great fight for second place. Of course, while they're tripping each other up, Maverick Vinales is just eking away at the front. He does lead now by 4.3 seconds. Vinales, surely it's his race to lose now.
It might not be a race at the front, but it's an unbelievable race for second place, and full marks to Valentino Rossi. We thought Andrea Iannone was going to disappear into the distance. Rossi had other thoughts, but Iannone would come back at him. Crutchlow coming into the fray as well. They come with a bunker. Crutchlow almost getting up the inside of Andrea Iannone. Marc Marquez and Pedrosa joining in the fun. This is mayhem. What a battle for second place as they come onto that Wellington straight.
Yeah, looked like Crutchlow with that hard option front tyre. He's a bit more braking stability than Andrea Iannone going down into that village corner. Wasn't quite able to find his way through on Andrea Iannone. Dovizioso's come right back into this battle for second place as well. He's just at the back of this group in 7th place. Dovizioso, don't rule him out of this fight for second place.
7 laps to go. Vinales has already crossed the line. Rossi crosses the line now. Boy, that's a gap of 4.8 seconds, but I don't think we're too worried about that as Iannone gets back up the inside of Valentino Rossi at Cox corner. Crutchlow trying to ride round the outside of them. It's like a speedway match as they're racing through there at 120 miles an hour down towards the Maggots corner.
This is like a Moto3 race in MotoGP. Fantastic action. Maverick Vinales again was half a second quicker than this chasing group. 4.8 seconds now he leads this race. He's coming down to the end of the hanger straight for Stowe corner, while these group are still just coming onto this hanger straight. Iannone then can he make the breakaway from Rossi, Crutchlow, Marquez, Pedrosa and Dovizioso? Surely it's too late to hunt down Maverick Vinales. Here we go, Iannone up the inside of Valentino Rossi at the first corner. Quite literally a bird's eye view from Rossi's Yamaha M1.
And that's of course where Iannone went down yesterday, then in free practice 4 in a big fall. As Cal Crutchlow obviously wants to finish on the podium, we ride with Maverick Vinales. So far, absolute masterclass from a lad so young, 21 years old, only in his second season of MotoGP. He is a world champion in Moto3, had some Moto2 wins as well, but immediately snatched up by Suzuki to make an early MotoGP debut. It has paid off, but the battle for second place continues to rage. Iannone and Marquez now with Cal Crutchlow. Marquez now up into 4th place, Rossi 3rd, and in 2nd place Andrea Iannone, and he hasn't been able to break away from Valentino Rossi. Rossi again thinks about the inside, he's not close enough as they come into the Brooklands corner.
Marquez is through on Crutchlow. You can see there Aleix Espargaro will be penalised with a 1-second penalty at the end of the race. I thought I saw a Suzuki running off at Magus a little bit early on in the race, so it won't affect Crutchlow. That's brave up the inside of Marquez at Woodcote. Oh, what a move by Crutchlow. Aggressive, hard but fair. He picks up Marquez. That's flat out through there. Crutchlow, brave in the extreme. Brilliant move by Crutchlow to take that 4th place back from Marquez. Marquez getting a bit of a taste of his own medicine that time.
And Crutchlow again, he's got up the inside of Valentino Rossi. Crutchlow is up on the podium place in 3rd place.
Crutchlow really starting to bare his teeth now. Brilliant moves on Marquez and Valentino Rossi in the space of 3 corners. Cal Crutchlow then back in the podium place in his home Grand Prix.
We ride with Valentino Rossi, Cal Crutchlow in front of him, under the bridge, fastest part of the circuit, down towards Stoke Corner, well over 320 kilometres an hour. Rossi sniffs up the inside and then says, no, well, I got up the inside there, take both of them out into the gravel at Stoke Corner.
Crutchlow, can he close up on the brakes with that hard option front tyre on Andrea Iannone in the braking zone for Vale? Not quite. Iannone still holding firm in 2nd. That is Pedrosa and Andrea Dovizioso just can't quite get in that hunt for the podium right now. There is Maverick Vinales going through the Abbey curve, way ahead of Andrea Iannone. We're on board again with Valentino Rossi.
In front of him is Cal Crutchlow, and just in the red there, Andrea Iannone going through the farm curve. We saw Iannone go down there yesterday in a fairly big crash. Slowest part of the circuit, the loop, and then the village corner.
Andrea Iannone's doing a brilliant job here of managing those soft option tyres. Marquez picks up Valentino Rossi. Oh, that's really aggressive from Marquez. These two have had some battle royales down the years.
Not going to be happy about that. This is personal. We ride with Rossi. I tell you, he's going to get up the inside of Brooklands. He's going to give it absolutely everything, and he has got up the inside of Brooklands, and there is nowhere for Marquez to go. This is personal. This is...
Oh, Iannone's gone down. Andrea Iannone's crashed out of 2nd place. He's down at the Luffield corner. Iannone out of 2nd place, so this is now a battle for 3rd in the race. There is Andrea Iannone. Well, finally his soft option front tyre has cried no more. It puts Crutchlow 2nd, and this epic fight between Rossi and Marquez is now a fight for 3rd.
Yeah, through Cox Corner they come. They have taken their gloves off, these two, as they have done on many times before. Oh, Marquez thought about getting up the inside, going into the Maggotts corner. No, he has got up the inside.
He's gone up, he's
gone off the track. Marquez puts his hand up, he had to run straight on.
That's fine, he can come back on in front of Danny Pedrosa and Andrea Dovizioso. He knew he couldn't come back on track in front of Valentino Rossi.
So that has changed the situation quite dramatically. Cal Crutchlow a 2nd, Valentino Rossi 3rd, then Marquez. Let's have a look at it again. He's just getting in too hot, isn't he? Yeah. He's just got to run it on.
That's a classic case of impatience and over exuberance from Marquez. Look at this, what an onboard shot that is from Valentino Rossi. Brilliant from the gyroscopic camera.
Follows Marquez going off into the boondocks, into the country.
Marquez is right back on Valentino Rossi. He's going to have a look up the inside at the Abbey corner. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Rossi just slightly later on the brakes as they peel through Abbey.
The red mist is down, the red mist is down with Marquez. He's got upstairs inside now with Valentino Rossi. And is he going to hold firm? No, Rossi comes back at him, side by side, and Rossi back through. Marquez fights back. This is very personal indeed. I think Marquez has stolen back again. He has. Rossi tries to get back up the inside. You'll never see better motorcycle racing. You never see better motorsport than this in the world.
Wheel to wheel, elbow to elbow between Marquez and Valentino Rossi here at the British Grand Prix. 4 laps and 3 corners remaining. Maverick Vinales in complete control of this race. He's 5 seconds clear of Cal Crutchlow in second place, but the fans, the 75,000 fans packed into Silverstone, captivated by this titanic battle between Marquez and Rossi for third.
And Danny Pedrosa now joining in the fun. He wants to help his teammate Marc Marquez.
Well, Rossi and Marquez.
It's a shame in some ways it's taking all the glory away from Maverick Vinales, isn't it?
Well, the Rossi Marquez scrap is doing 2 things. They're carving each other up so much it's given Cal Crutchlow the chance to break away in second, and it's brought Pedrosa and Dovizioso back into the hunt for the podium.
This is the battle for third place. It's very fierce indeed. 56-point gap now in the World Championship, but these positions remain the same. I can promise you these positions will not remain the same in the next 3.5 laps.
Marc Marquez has probably got some blue paint on his leathers, and Valentino Rossi's probably got some red and orange paint on his leathers. It's been that close in this fight for third place. As we said, it's given Cal Crutchlow the chance to break away from Marquez in third place. Crutchlow's a second ahead now of Marquez.
Yeah, Crutchlow would not want to be involved in this. He would for enjoyment, but not for the position he stands in the race. Here is Scott Redding.
He hasn't had another crash.
It's not going to be the third crash for poor old Scott Redding, is it? Right, back to the battle for third place. Crutchlow has opened up a bit of an advantage. We have 3.5 laps to go. They come into the Abbey curve. What another ride by Cal Crutchlow. Second in Germany. Winner in Brno 2 weeks ago. And now running in second place.
It does look like Marquez has got the pace to get away from Rossi. Breathtaking shots here on board that gyroscopic camera from Valentino Rossi. That was so close. A face full of Marc Marquez. Absolutely brilliant action.
It is. It's Moto3. It's club racing, isn't it?
Oh, big moment for Crutchlow as he squeezed the power on coming out of Brooklands. That's going to give Marc Marquez heart in this battle for second place. Crutchlow just asking for the power a little bit too early. He was thrown out of the seat. Gathered it all back up though. Crutchlow stays in second place.
The big crowd and this grandstands that engulf this Woodcote corner. They clap, but they're a little bit quieter. Crutchlow, 3 laps to go, tips it into Cox corner. The advantage at the front for Maverick Vinales, 4.6 seconds.
Got to take your hat off to Marc Marquez, Nick. He's just put in a 2:02.825. He was half a second quicker than Crutchlow last time around. Half a second quicker than Valentino Rossi. He's broken Rossi, no doubt about that. Marc Marquez is winning this personal duel for third place. Now it's all about hunting down Cal Crutchlow. You can forget about this man, Maverick Vinales, because he has long gone into the distance. Vinales leads by 4.6 seconds. Suzuki are about to be on the top step of a MotoGP podium for the first time since 2007. Chris Fumulin at Le Mans. If Maverick Vinales can keep his composure, he's been the top gun today, no doubt about that.
The battle for second place. Crutchlow on the brakes into club corner.
Oh dear, look at that. Davide Brivio, he cannot watch.
Because Davide Brivio was the man that instigated Rossi's move from Honda to Yamaha and masterminded his success at Yamaha, wasn't he? He's doing the same at Suzuki now, and he's closing up all the time. Is Marc Marquez on Crutchlow as they go through the Abbey curve.
This was the moment he had coming through Brooklands on the last lap. He's just, look at that for Crutchlow. That was a big moment for Cal. And that's brought Marc Marquez right back into contention. Marc Marquez attacks Crutchlow. Marquez is the man on the charge in this race at the end of the British Grand Prix. And he takes second place from Cal Crutchlow. Has Crutchlow got anything to respond?
Oh, he clinically passed him, wasn't it? Very clean indeed. But here comes Crutchlow. Absolutely side by side. He blinked, and now he runs in a bit wide, and Marquez has got up the inside, but Crutchlow has the advantage, but Marquez makes it stick. So Marquez now second, Crutchlow third into Woodcote corner. There will be 2 laps to go.
And I think
Crutchlow's going to have one more nibble at him, don't you?
I think we can safely say that Marc Marquez hasn't been riding with the championship in mind today.
Here comes Crutchlow up into Cobb's corner.
He's got the inside line as well. Yeah, Marquez can't turn in because Cal Crutchlow's right there on the LCR on the rider. What a battle we've seen for second place, raced behind Maverick Vinales. It's been awesome between Crutchlow, between Marquez, between Valentino Rossi. Rossi looks out of it in fourth place. He's really struggling to try and get on the podium for the second year in a row here at Silverstone.
They come through the last part of the complex through the Chapel Curve under the hanger straight. Good drive out of here, both of them on Hondas, of course. Now will Marquez try to nip out of that slipstream any moment now? Here he comes, up the inside on the brakes. He sweeps past Crutchlow.
Oh, he's in way too hot. He's in way too hot. Marquez has gone off the track. That's going to cost him the podium. It's podium over surely for Marquez. He got it all in way too hot on Cal Crutchlow. And Marquez has dropped back behind Rossi. He's dropped back behind Dani Pedrosa. Well, we said, would he throw caution to the wind? Well, he did, and it's backfired.
Here they are at Stoke Corner. He's just too fast. He nearly hit Crutchlow.
That's why, yeah, it was nearly elbow to elbow, and all he's doing is going to the car park. And that is podium over for Marc Marquez, surely.
Well, as you so rightly say, Mark, full marks to this man. Maverick Vinales, what a ride on the Suzuki, but a fiercer battle as we've seen all season for second place.
Really in action. Marc Marquez, well, he said all year long, if he hasn't been able to win the race, he'll quite happily settle for the points. Oh, dearie me. He's not been
settling for the points.
This has been Marc Marquez in all-out attack mode right from the get-go here. It's been absolutely sensational to watch the number 93 at work here in this British Grand Prix.
He's trying to get past his teammate Dani Pedrosa now, down at Brooklands corner. He's all over his rear wheel. He just doesn't know the meaning of the word, does he? Take it carefully, just pick up the World Championship points. We thought he did, but he doesn't. Through Woodcut they come, right on the rear wheel. Vinales has crossed the line already. Crutchlow in second place, Valentino Rossi third.
Yeah, Marquez will be kicking himself. Maverick Vinales then on the final lap. History beckons for the Suzuki rider. What a year it's been for the MotoGP World Championship as Marc Marquez tries to fight back through on Dani Pedrosa. Marquez back up to fourth. What a year for the MotoGP World Championship. 7 different winners we're about to be seeing with Maverick Vinales at the front. We could have 4 first-time winners in the last 5 Grand Prix here in MotoGP. Brilliant stuff.
Well, he was the star of the future. He's now the star of today. David Abreview can't.
His girlfriend cannot watch.
She's given up watching. She's just looking through her fingers, isn't she?
She's got no fingernails left, that's for
down
sure.
at Club Corner. Crutchlow now looks pretty safe in second place with Valentino Rossi third. Marquez in fourth place, but Marquez was up into second place. She can't look. The girlfriend is just hoping and praying. He's got half a lap to go here at Silverstone. He's into the Abbey curve. Crutchlow and Rossi are now there. Marc Marquez and Dani Pedrosa.
Take nothing away from Cal Crutchlow as well, Nick. It's been a brilliant ride from him to score a second successive podium. He's had some real miserable moments on home soil in the British Grand Prix as Cal Crutchlow, but he's putting all those behind him as Maverick Vinales. He comes through the loop. He has a good glance at the big screen there. Maverick Vinales edging ever closer to Suzuki's first victory since Le Mans in 2007. He comes down the Wellington Straight. The Suzuki fans are in jubilant mood. Maverick Vinales, he's been MotoGP's top gun today.
Cal Crutchlow in second place, but now all eyes will turn to the 21-year-old Spaniard. His premier class maiden victory, Suzuki's first win since 2007. Maverick Vinales wins here at Silverstone.
Brilliant ride by Maverick Vinales. Cal Crutchlow takes a phenomenal second place. Valentino Rossi third. Marquez did find his way back into fourth place. What a ride by the Spaniard. He was all action throughout that 19-lap race. Dani Pedrosa fifth. Andrea Dovizioso in sixth place. Aleix Espargaro was seventh. That 1 second penalty won't alter his position. Jorge Lorenzo back in eighth.
Danilo Petrucci crossing the line in 9th place. Just 9 riders across the line as we stand at the moment. Alvaro Bautista in 10th place.